and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. We are back for another show, and we've got the big man in the building himself, Chris Hudson.
Oh,
great to have you back, Chris. When you was on the other day, man, everyone was saying, get Chris back, get Chris back. He's brilliant. So, listen, we listen to what you guys say. Chris is back in the building.
Thank you, everyone.
And big up to Chris's son over there as well. I forgot his name, man.
Dave,
big up Dave, man. I can see you been, bringing him up just like you. He's got the knowledge, man. Trust me.
He does know his stuff, right?
He knows his stuff. He didn't get it off you then?
No.
Chris, it's great to have you here and great to have you guys on board. Of course, we've got a great show for you tonight. Lots of topics to talk about, including the big thing that is happening tonight. I don't know if you know about this, Chris, but around about 10 o'clock tonight, there's a huge announcement. Huge announcement.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
The League Cup.
The EFL Cup. We will find out who we've got in the second round. Yes, people, the second round of the EFL Cup. That's what we're in.
But the thing is, I know we're all laughing about it, and it does show you how far we've sort of dropped down the football food chain. But I like to point out, if you win it, it's an avenue into the Europa League, and the finals you round about the end of February. So this, in a hypothetical world, let's say we're sitting about 6th or 7th, everyone's happy. Tammy Abraham's got 15 goals.
Tammy Abrahams?
And we've just beaten Man City after extra time and penalties in the League Cup final. We'll be in the league, we'll be in the Europa League at the end of February. Pressure's off, and we can play a few Michael Azizis for the rest of the season. So, you know what I mean? I'm always there, aren't I? But
wait, how did you chew on in Tammy Abraham? How's he in there?
Oh, he's got a cub, Rob. Anyway, we'll get on to that.
We'll get on to that. Before we get on to that, the big news today has all been about Aaron Ramsdale, keeper. I did a show this morning, Transfer Daily, and on the show I was talking a lot about the fact that, it's only a couple of days to go and we don't have a number two, a proper number two goalkeeper. And then the news has been breaking all day that Arsenal are in advanced talks with Aaron Ramsdale. I think it's Chris Wheatley broke it first.
That's right, yeah.
Our old friend AFC Bell has kind of confirmed it as well.
Ding dong.
Ding dong, right? So it's looking like possibly the possibility that Aaron Ramsdale could be signed in time for him to be in the squad on Friday. The talk is it's going to be around about £24 million plus additional add-ons, which could take it up to around about 30 million, depending on games played, etc., etc. Chris, Aaron Ramsdale.
Well, look, Robbie, I can't be an hypocrite because on social media I've been harping on about we need a number two keeper. So it is an important signing, and I can understand people. I think the fee for the ability of the player and the fact that a lot of people say, well, we need a midfielder, in my case, we need a striker. You know what I mean? I think if say all that was done and we bought the keeper now, there wouldn't be such uproar. But the thing is, there's better judges than me and who actually rate the keeper. He's judged well enough to play for England, and the keeper and the manager at Sheffield United, Wilder, put a lot of faith in him. But I can understand.
They went down.
Yeah, they went down. But that doesn't mean he's a bad keeper. I am trying to be a bit diplomatic here. I can understand people being a little bit, nervous. I don't know, but I'm going to give. If he's going to come to Arsenal, going to put a shirt on, I'll get behind him.
Yeah, we'll all get behind him.
And hopefully with better coaching, perhaps he'll get better coached at Arsenal and he could flourish. But is he really coming to be number two? Right?
Well, that's the question I was going to ask you. Is he coming in as a number two or number one? Because that's a very expensive number two, isn't it?
I think he's here to put a lot of severe pressure on Leno, and it'll be very interesting to see what develops. That's what I'm going to say. Because I'm not convinced Leno's going to stay. I think.
You think Arteta rates Leno?
I'm not sure.
Because he kept him.
He voted him over Martinez, but I thought Leno had a poor season last season. But so you don't know. I mean, we're not privy. For all we know, they might have said to this boy, "You'll come into Arsenal. We want you to challenge Leno for number one, and whoever does the business will get the shirt." So he's thinking, I can come to Arsenal, play in London, my England career will flourish.
If he's playing.
But I think he could be. I think that could be the little shock for everyone. But that's only my opinion.
Going through some of the comments, I have to say, the general vibe of it is that fans are not that infused about it.
I can understand that.
Yeah, James Jones said would be the second worst Premier League signing ever after Kepa of Chelsea.
I think
this guy sarcastically says, "What a signing." This guy, it's the Devil's TV. He's obviously a Man United fan. He says it's hilarious.
I know he hasn't filled Piltl with confidence because the last two teams he went for have gone down. I mean, that doesn't fill you with confidence. But Arsenal must have seen something in him for them to spend. Let's face it, £24 million of Arsenal is a lot of money at the moment in the predicament they're in. So I'm gonna, I'm erring on the side of cool. On one side, I understand people not being happy, but on the other side, I'm saying you got to give the boy a chance. Because
we have to give him a chance. If he comes in, we have to give him a chance.
So you don't want to start slaughtering him before he comes there.
No, but I worry that he will get. You see, Chris, you know what I think it is, right? With this Aaron Ramsdale signing, I don't think it's that he's a particularly bad player. I think if we were signing Aaron Ramsdale for like £10 million, I don't think nobody would be minding, because we all know we need a number 2 goalkeeper. Like you said, he's broken into the England squad. He's played in the Premier League as well. So, but what I think the problem lies here, I feel, is a couple of things. Number one, we had Emi Martinez, right? We let him go, right? He's gone to Villa. He was Villa's player of the season last year. He won the Golden Glove in the Copa America. He's won the Copa America. He's been an amazing goalkeeper for them, as he was when he took over for us, right? And there was a lot of people really unhappy about that. Number 2, this season, we can see there's limited funds.
That's what we're told.
Right, we're told there's limited funds. And by the way, we're moving in a transfer market. I think there is limited funds, right? And we're going to go and outlay now £24 million plus add-ons on a goalkeeper that nobody can work it out whether he's number 1 or number 2. We outlaid £50 million on Ben White, which I really like the signing of Ben White. However, it's a lot of money in an area that at the time we all looked upon him. When you spoke to everybody at the start of the transfer window, everybody said attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, right back and left back. We got a cover for left back. The only one we've got out of that is a cover for left back. So people are looking at it and say, right, £24 million on a goalkeeper, right? That money could have gone towards, that could get Aouar.
Aouar's now 17.5 million.
Right, so that could get Hudson Aouar. That could, go towards, you mentioned Tammy Abrahams earlier. He's like 30 million. 6 million on top of that gets you Tammy Abrahams. Right? That could have got you a right back. So why are we going so big on Aaron Ramsdale, such an quite an expensive goalkeeper? And remember, even in that area, when we talk about the fact that we don't know whether he'll be number 1 or number 2. If he's number 2, we had Matt Ryan, who was available. He was there on loan, and then at the end of the season, he was a free agent. We could have got him for nothing. It wouldn't have cost us anything. Could have brought Matt Ryan in as backup to Leno. Okay. So either we've got loads and loads more money left to spend, but if all our budget is getting done on Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale, you can see the frustration of the fans.
If come the 31st of August, Robbie, all we've bought is Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale, there'll be a meltdown.
But it's not even just a matter of all we bought. It might be a matter of we could have got Maddison. But let's just say this scenario. We could have got Maddison. They want 60 million, but we're like, well, we've only got 50. But then we went and spent all that money on Ramsdale. So that's the thing.
It doesn't make sense.
You went and bought Ben White for 50 million.
I can't sit here and defend Arsenal. It's all very contradictory. But
it's a strange one.
We'll have to wait till we wake up on the 1st of September.
If we wake up, might just decide to stay in bed the whole day, right? Ozef says with a super chat, he says, "Hi Robbie, I hate to say this, but don't forget 12, 27, 21. That's the day. I think he says this club is gone." So he's saying, wow. And Andrew Antonio says, "Not that Ramsdale is a bad signing, but it's gross mismanagement of resources. I don't want to hear any more excuses about Arteta. He's been backed. 11 signings, 150 million plus spent, and now a pre-season." So we were talking about that earlier, that he's not going to have any excuses this year. But mismanagement of resources for you?
Proof will be in the pudding, Rob. That's all I can say.
He's taken a big chance, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's one of those that it could come off, and everybody will be like, "Wow, what a genius, man!" When we were all saying why he stuck to his guns, and he,
Well, there's hope for everyone's sake. He is a genius. Because if he isn't, he's out of work.
Let's get to there's many comments coming in. Brian says Ramsdale is decent. Stop the moaning. It's not that. It's the price. I think it's the price. In this sort of market where people are not looking to spend £24 million plus add-ons, we're being told, which take up to about 30 million. That's a lot on a goalkeeper.
Especially, we still can't move any. We're still stuck with our surplus to requirements, and and here we are, week on, we still haven't sold them. And now, I don't know what's going on with Joe Willock. Question mark.
We're going to come to that in a second. Sam Rudham says Ramsdale is English, and Arsenal need to fill up their homegrown quota. That we could keep Willock. Ramsdale because of homegrown quota. Matt Ryan is better than Aaron Ramsdale, says Coffee.
Well, I think they did.
Ricardo says stupid, incompetent management. Can't wait for him to get sacked. That's a bit harsh.
I know. In a way, it just highlights the fragile mental state of the Arsenal support at the moment, Rob. I just think this reaction is through a signing. Can you imagine what the reaction would be if we lose to Brentford, or the first home game at the Emirates, the lovely sunny afternoon, Chelsea, first time for how many months we've all been in that stadium? And I'll tell you something, if we sit there and are getting beat 3 or 4-0, I don't want to. It'd be just awful.
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, the reaction might be like this guy I met one time at Villa.
Yeah, I remember that. I wonder what happened to him.
I don't know what happened to him. You know him?
Yeah, a bit of a lunatic, Robbie.
Andrew Antonio says, "It's not how much you spend, it's how you spend it. Look at Leicester and Villa.
Great point.
This is a model we should be looking to emulate."
You can't argue with that. Leicester, I think, are a superbly run football club.
Okijoki says we could have gotten Onana.
Apparently,
of course, Onana and Ajax.
Arsenal to support it. I was reading today they can't believe Arsenal haven't come in for him, but there must be a reason.
Well, he wouldn't be able to play till November.
Yeah, perhaps that's it. I mean, I can't. No one. You could be. There's no way anyone at the moment can second guess what's happening at Arsenal. He does be a genius.
Yeah, Kalu says we need a goalkeeper. His shot-stopping stats are good from last season. Why are we complaining? 24 million isn't that bad under the circumstances.
As we were saying, it's a lot of money when Arsenal are pleading poverty. I can understand people's reaction, but and if we only buy this keeper and Ben White, then he'll have no fury like a scorned Arsenal supporter. Because I just don't want to even think about it. Right?
I don't think that's going to be. You know, I was sort of talking about it on my show this morning. I don't think it's going to be the only signing. I do think that Arsenal, what they're doing, they're playing a bit of a waiting game until the end of the transfer window to wait to see what's going to happen with Odegaard, to wait to see what's going to happen with Tammy Abrahams, to wait to see what's going to happen with Awar before they try and dive in. Now it's a risky game.
Yeah, because while you're sitting there and ahhing, someone like Tammy Abraham could end up going to Roma, and I get the feeling I'm not too sure he actually wants to go. Really, I think he's waiting. For
wants.
the Arsenal.
He definitely wants to stay at Arsenal.
And I'm just
go
hoping,
to Arsenal. Shall I say?
You know, I know it's only personal opinion. I know there's a lot of people out there don't rate him, calling him the new Danny Welbeck. Blah blah blah.
Tammy Welbeck, I've heard people calling him.
You know, that's their opinion.
But he's a decent player.
Yeah, but you know what I think about him. I think he'd really be a good signing for us, and I think he'd really link up well with Martinelli. Bit of a Toshak Keegan partnership. That's for your older supporters.
The Toshak Keegan. If Martinelli even plays.
Or is Martinelli going to be sacrificed this summer? I thought about
what?
Well, you got to think out of the box all the time with Arsenal.
Martinelli.
You never know. You keep people telling me Arteta don't play him. Say they get a big offer for him. In this climate we're in, and say that money helps Arsenal get Madison, you know what I mean? There's so many things you can think about.
Don't talk like that, Chris, man.
Sorry.
Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that, man. Don't.
But that's the course of the man. That's the course of Arteta survives the first 3 or 4 games.
AT Football says Tammy would be great business for Arsenal. I remember for years never playing to Giroud's strength. He leaves, we start whipping balls into the box.
Exactly. Especially with Tierney, one of the best crossers of the ball in the league. And I mean, look at Sunday, 14 crosses to no one. I mean, doesn't Arteta learn? What happened when we played the North London derby in the league last year? The same thing. Cross after cross. There's no one there. Lacazette and both of Aubameyang don't attack the ball in the air. You know, but so suddenly I've got some big Tammy there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
TBC says, Robbie and Chris, if you could pick one signing from the following, who would it be?
Right.
Tammy Abraham, Hudson, James Maddison, Basuma, or Ramsdale? He says, loving the content. One.
Tammy Abraham.
Yeah? Nah, Maddison. You pick Tammy Abraham over Maddison?
Yeah, but in a way, you can't really answer that question because they're all different positions. I know
you love Tammy Abraham
because I think you
love Tammy Abraham.
You make a difference, Rob. We need a different sort of striker.
We do, but is he elite?
No, he's not elite. He's for Arsenal, not elite, Rob. We're 8th. Let's remember that.
But I don't want to be 8th.
Yeah, but
how do we rise from being 8th and get back to at least 4th?
We've got as much chance of coming 4th as I have of becoming Prime Minister. Well, we have got a
I'd vote for you.
we have got a chance of getting 6th.
Is that what you're aiming for, 6th?
I'm realistic. This is how you start. You get to 6th, then you get more money and you build. It's a bit like the mid-80s, but that's I'm not going to go through another history lesson. But it's how Jules Graham started.
Is that where we are now? You're aiming for 6th.
We're in the mid-80s. That's where we are. I'm Mr. Realistic, Robbie. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Come on, Chris, man. This is Arsenal Football Club. I'm being realistic.
Yeah,
now.
It is Arsenal.
We should not be aiming at the start of a season for 6th.
I'm realistic, Rob. Look, listen. Top 4, 2 Manchester clubs, Chelsea, possibly Liverpool. I think they're the ones who might drop out. Liverpool, and they could be challenged by Leicester. I know they keep blowing 4th, but then you got we're in a battle with West Ham, Tottenham, Villa. I would say Everton, but I'm not. I think they're having a worse time than we are. Then come Arsenal. The priority this year is to get back into Europe, and that is why we have to take the League Cup seriously. I do not want to see a second 11 in the League Cup.
What have we got today?
Yeah, that's where we are, mate.
Aiming for 6th.
Yeah. The days of
Chris telling me that we must concentrate on the Carabao Cup.
The days of
what's going on?
As Arsene Wenger once said, caviar or sausages. Well, we're eating sausages, mate, and we're eating dodgy ones and all. Let me tell you, the ones you get in the calf, the dodgy sausages.
Oh my God. Michael says we can't sell any outfield player, but need a goalkeeper.
Well, the thing is, the whole of football can't sell any players at the moment. That's not just down to Arsenal. Lots of clubs are in that mess.
Shunat D says Ramsdale got relegated twice,
and we signed
that player. What a disgrace.
The thing is, I can't argue with these people because what they're saying is fact. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna start. I always start. I'm not gonna slaughter the bloke before he gets there.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair. But I understand. It's a bit hard for me because I understand how angry some of these people are.
Symmetry 93 says Tammy Abrahams scores 1 goal in every 3.2 games.
Suspect or not, well, at the moment we got a striker who don't score 0 and 6, Rob. That's my answer to that one.
He says, and that's whilst playing in a team that creates far more chances than Arsenal. At that rate, even if he plays in all 38 games, he'll have a return of no more than 12 goals.
Stats, lies. I'm convinced you can all bury me. If he signs and doesn't score 15 goals, you can all bury me in a pit of sand. Yeah.
I'll tell you, son. Get that shovel ready, mate. Gooner says Calvert-Lewin is a better signing.
Do that, then that's a good call. But would you get him out of Everton?
Nah, you're talking that's 50 million.
Actually,
I remember right at the start of the window we were linked with him.
And actually, there was an Everton fan on the radio last night slagging him off.
Will says Ramsdale was Bournemouth's player of the season when they got relegated. Give him a better defence, and the stats will improve.
Yeah, but, well said, mate.
He's got a better defence.
Yeah, well, I think we have.
And Nihad says Chris is speaking facts. Come on, Robbie, be realistic. Love the content. I'm just saying that if we are at the start of the season, Chris is saying let's aim for 6th and try and win the Carabao Cup. What have we turned into? Who are we now? Is this the Arsenal or the joke? I mean, what? The Carabao Cup. We back in the day, I remember Wenger. He got to the final. He still played kids. Remember that final?
Yeah, against Birmingham. Chelsea.
Chelsea when we lost 2-1 Cardiff. Yeah. But he still played kids in that. Let alone now, you're telling me in the second round, the first time in our history we've even been in the second round, that we should play our strongest team.
Because it's a trophy we got to take seriously. It gets you into Europe. Well, I know it's hard to swallow, but I'll tell you what, perhaps if a lot of people who ran Arsenal realised where they were, instead of thinking they're where they're not, we might all be better off.
I know where they are in America.
Yeah, but
probably sat in a jacuzzi right now. They don't know what's going on at Arsenal.
Yeah. Tammy a country singer, is he standing?
Yeah, Tammy with it. Was it Tammy with it?
Yeah. Oh, Josh, why are we buying a country singer? I don't know, mate.
Getting a lot of support here for Aaron Ramsdale, which is good in a way, because like you said, he hasn't even come yet and a lot of people are on top of him. Barista is saying, I'm tired of these Arsenal fans saying about Ramsdale being relegated. Robertson got relegated with Hull. What's in front of a goalkeeper? That's what matters. He can't win matches on his own.
Good point.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
Codhead Gaming says Hector Bellerin to be given a new contract. What's going on with his club? I've heard that rumour.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
But the thing, talking about new contracts, Robbie, Xhaka still hasn't signed his. I haven't seen it announced on the official website.
He hasn't. But then, I guess they're waiting with that because if they, this is the thing. If they announce that Xhaka signed a new contract,
Robbie,
people are going to be in meltdown because they're going to be like, "You're Xhaka. Why haven't you bought him?" And they'll announce that at the end of the window.
Yeah, you're right there. That's stupid.
Being Sarangi says, "Gotta love Chris. Very endearing and practical. What do you think about Willock's move to Newcastle? Is there a buyback clause? And Balogun, will he progress or get stunted if we sign Tammy Abraham?" You know what? We're going to get to Willock, but answer that. What the guys just asked you there. You keep going on about signing Tammy Abraham. What happens to Balogun?
I've seen him out on loans. As Super Kev said last week, earn his trade. To learn his trade, he needs to go sort of somewhere up north where he's going to get a good kicking every week. And he'll come back a man.
Gonna get kicking down south.
Well, you know what I mean. A cold night in Stoke. Doesn't sound as bad as a cold night over the Orient, does it? So basically, you know, being serious, I like to see him. He's a wonderful talent, and he needs to possibly go out on loan just for 6 months.
Not in the first team yet.
I don't think he's ready, Rob. But the thing is, how can I answer that? Because I've never seen him given a proper chance.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Now, Joe Willock, is he still leaving Arsenal? There were these picture that came out today with him still at London Coney. He's actually got an award in his... That award that he was holding up in that picture was actually when he got Player of the Month at Newcastle. A lot of people, after seeing that picture, started to suggest that actually he ain't going, he's staying, because I think he's saying that he's got to be Chris Wheatley again. He was saying that he's got to be registered by midday on Friday to be eligible to play for West Ham this weekend. He's still at London Coney. Or, as some people pointed out, and you can see there a couple of empty shelves behind him, is he packing his bags? And he may be at the bottom of the locker. He found his award and was just having a laugh with the guys. But, staying or going for you?
Well, I like him to stay, and there is a rumour that he hasn't really. That they're struggling to agree terms. But
yeah, seen that as well.
But unfortunately, if he doesn't go, right, we're in a worse state. I mean, as I said to you last week, I'm upset that he's going. I think the only reason he's going is for financial reasons. Which I think he's a good player.
To buy Ramsdale?
Yeah, well, it looks like
it. If you think about it, they said he's about 24, 25 million, and then the Ramsdale's 24, 25 million, so...
Well, you know, then they don't look too good on the Cronkies then, is it? It's basically, we're having... I think
up to the 100 million.
Well, I think Arsenal based their whole transfer policy this summer is getting players out, but I think they've miscalculated the market.
Well, we ain't got anybody out really, have we?
Mainly because the wages they're on.
Yeah. Ernest says, we wanted Buendia even though he went down with Norwich, but can't give Ramsdale a chance. Right. Arsenal fans, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Buendia did well in the Premier League. And Anwesh says, Chris, how do you manage your mental health and stress levels while watching Arsenal?
After doing it for over 50 years, I think it's all right, I'm coping. But I must admit, I don't. People think I enjoy the transfer window. I hate it because I want, when that season starts, I want it all in place, and Arsenal should want it all in place. I hate all this variable. Is he staying? Is he going? And then it just creates.
You check
pressure.
It all, though, right?
Yeah, of course I do. And it creates loads of
pressure. I know you check it all because you'll be texting me.
And it creates loads of pressure. I mean, I wouldn't want to be, I've got to tell you, I wouldn't want to be Arteta, Edu or anyone if we get off to a bad start. Well, I really wouldn't. And then we'll be doing like a panic shop at the end of the window possibly.
Which we do a lot.
Yeah, now, it's no way to run a football club. It's wrong.
But don't you see, I guess this year, in this year's market, you know what I've seen, Chris, right? I've seen a lot, it's not just Arsenal.
No.
A lot of clubs, they're waiting. They're waiting. You can tell, innit? You see a lot of clubs out there and they ain't spending.
Well, it's like, I mean, none of Europe's spending because they're in a worse financial state than what we are. But I know what you mean. There's clubs like Everton, West Ham, Newcastle, just to name three. But so that brings me back to my other argument. The window should have shut Thursday. If the window was shut this Thursday, it might have hurried people up.
Yeah, but they don't do that no more, do they?
Yeah, well, they tried it, and then a lot of clubs said, "Oh, he didn't give us time."
Well, it was the English clubs said we're going out on our own, and we're gonna. And then they found that people started picking off their players once the league had started, so they realised it was a terrible idea.
Look, it's not. We criticise Arsenal, but it's not their fault. We've had a pandemic and football's in a financial meltdown. But on the other end, are Arsenal asking stupid money for their players?
Yeah. You know what it is, Chris, right? As I said, I always get frustrated with this football club in that it's such a huge football club. I saw a report again yesterday that the high season ticket prices are at Arsenal again.
Which is our
right?
fine, yeah.
You know, and you know, I look. I know we shouldn't make that comparison, but I look across in Paris, and they're announcing Messi by the Eiffel Tower, and we're bringing in Aaron Ramsdale, and this is a huge club. It's a huge club, right? It's a huge club worldwide, and the levels. And we do have a multi-billionaire owner.
We might have a multi-billionaire owner, but I'll be careful what I say here. But
he don't want to spend.
You don't want to spend, and you know, that's another. I did have that worry going into this summer, because obviously we know with the Daniel Ek takeover, we don't know what's going on in the background. For all you know, perhaps they've said, well, you know what, we'll wait till the window shuts, or we're not interested, and we'll sell it. And perhaps they decided, well, we're not going to put any more money in. And it's only a theory. It's only a theory.
So you reckon maybe, yeah? So you reckon there's like
it's like, why would you? If you own something, if you own something and you want to sell it, you don't want to spend money in it, are you?
Yeah, true. You got a house. You don't want to. You ain't going to fix it up, are you?
No, you just let it go to rot and
patch it up a bit and just
damp everywhere. You let it go to rot and ruin.
Red Square says we need to sign VAR this window. Won't matter who we sign if we lose as many points to VAR as we've done in the last 3 seasons.
I must admit, Arsenal did. You got even the most harshest Arsenal hater. We have to admit we were on some terrible decisions.
I think they said we had the worst deal with VAR, but we can't use that as excuses. No. Brian Mayer says, I've heard the excuses about not getting players out. Truth is, sometimes you just have to cut the dead wood, even though it's painful. Just pay off someone and return.
Yeah, I think they should do that. I mean, surely, you know, they could do a deal with a buying club, you know, drop the fee a little bit. There's got to be some way of getting some of these players out the door. It's got to be. You know, there's people at Arsenal who paid high salaries to solve that problem, Rob. That's what they're there for.
Ashwin says, Ashwin from India. We got Ashwin from India. He says, remember Pickford? He was at Sunderland, got relegated, sold to Everton for 25 million. See where he is now? So don't underestimate it. Well, I don't know if that's a good... Ramsdale reminds me a lot like Pickford.
He does, yeah, he does.
Pickford's not a great example for me. Speak to Everton fans. They're not
No.
They're not overly happy with his... And he's England's number one, but... Pickford.
I'm not having him, Rob.
And B says Arsenal miscalculate wages massively. I reckon we pay players 20% more than they're worth, and then act surprised when no other club wants to do the same.
You can't argue with that.
Yep, the wages have been massive. Tammy Abraham, by the way, we were hearing that he's agreed terms. That's a lot of the talk, that he's agreed personal terms with Arsenal to sign. There's been Atalanta that have been interested in Roma. The deal that I've heard that Roma put on the table is like a 2-year loan deal with an obligation to buy at the end of that, which a lot of Italian clubs, obviously Juventus, have used that sort of tactic on a lot of deals.
But he's agreed terms with the I think he's waiting for Arsenal to make their move, Rob, isn't he? But obviously he's not going to wait forever. But the thing is, if I was advising Tammy Abraham, I would tell him not to go, really. Well, obviously I would. Let's forget it's Chris Hudson saying that. Because I think he could go to Italy and disappear off the face of the earth. He might become a very wealthy man, but I don't think the Italian game would be suited to him.
By the way, what happened to Locatelli? Yeah. Talking of Italy.
I think he hasn't even joined Juventus yet.
No.
It's another one.
That was another one. At the start of the window, we were told we offered up £34 million for Locatelli, right? Which was turned down, and we offered up 30 odd million for, who was it? Who's the other player? No, it was Locatelli, wasn't it? Yeah. 34 million for Locatelli.
I don't know, Rob. It's weird. It's like Basuma. There's another mystery. He was always coming to Arsenal. And I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with him last season. And I can't believe he's still at Brighton. I thought a top 4 club would come in for him.
Well, there's still talk that maybe Liverpool might come in for him.
He's a good player.
And I was thinking about PSG. Somebody pointed out to me yesterday that PSG thing, right? Hakimi, they paid £54 million for, but Ramos free.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's weird.
Ronaldo free, Messi free.
Yeah.
All these free deals they've done. They had to pay a penny for it. I mean, all right, they're going to pay some big wages, but
That's the way to do your
it still looks like smart business, doesn't
Of course it is.
Duoplex 1 says Smith, Wright, Anelka, Henry, Van Persie, Sanchez, Aubameyang, and even Adebayor. Do you think Tammy Abraham is anywhere near that level?
No.
Remember when we finished 12th in '95 and Bergkamp signed? No excuses.
Obviously, he's not.
On to
near,
that.
He's not near that level. I'm not saying he is, but he's a level of a team that's coming 8th for 2 years on the trot.
No, but as the guy said, that year we finished 12th and we signed Bergkamp.
No, the year we finished 12th, we bought Bergkamp and Platt, and in the following year we come 5th for those two. We didn't come 12th for Bergkamp.
That's a jump of like 7 places.
If
we do a similar thing this year, we could be back up in that top 4.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Look at those two signings, 2 quality players, Bergkamp and Platt.
They changed the whole
Platt
face
was on fire them times.
They changed the face of Arsenal. I remember when Bergkamp come. It was, in a way, it was Arsenal's Messi moment.
Yeah.
But Bergkamp not just changed art, he changed everything at Arsenal. I mean,
that's why these big signings, what they can do.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but it's different, Rob. That was a different
Now
Arsenal.
you're now leveling down.
Yeah, because that was
to talk nowadays about leveling up. You're like leveling down.
But that was when Arsenal were run properly. That's when you had Dean, Fry, Hill, Wood. Now Arsenal are not run properly, and they've got and they've got Cronkies. And do you know what I mean? Another thing about those people, not only were they good football people, they knew the game. I think the people running Arsenal at the moment don't.
Same Jay says we're a big global fan base, big history in name, but we're not big in the eyes of the world class players. So let's be realistic about transfers. It's why we only entice lads lower than us.
Yeah, but the thing is though, is every club. I mean, AC Milan and Inter Milan are bigger. You could make a case of they're worldwide global football clubs. But look at the mess they're in. It doesn't. You know what I mean? You can't. It's about getting back to where you were.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to read that comment there. I liked it so much. I'm reading it again. Smith, Wright, Anelka, Henry, Van Persie, Sanchez, Aubameyang, and even Adebayor. Do you think Tammy Abraham is anywhere near that level? Remember, we finished 12th in '95. Bergkamp signed no excuses. That's spot on.
But on the other, it's true. But
get some proper.
It's a different Arsenal, Robbie. And the thing, I could turn that on. You look at the crap we've bought in the last 10 years: Shamak, Jovino, etc. And that was when we was coming top 4 and in the Champions League. And I think Tammy Abraham's a better player than Shamak.
Gingerly says it's over, we're done. Ramsdale is the last straw. Sorry, Robbie, but I'm being honest.
No, I think what's happening there, you can't. An Arsenal supporter can't take his whole frustration out on one player who hasn't even kicked a ball for us yet. You know, I think that you've been a little bit over the top.
I actually think Tammy Abraham is a good player, but I do see where people are coming from because they want an elite.
Yeah, I do. You don't think I'm coming from it because I know where I am in the football. At the moment, I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it. People have got to realise where Arsenal are at the moment. And it's a sobering thought. That's where we are.
Yeah, but then you need to try and get something to move back up.
Well, in that case, you're going to need a revolution. You're going to need new owners. You might need a new manager. You might need a new scouting system, new director for football. You know, it's that big, Rob.
What about this one? Abhishek says Icardi is available. Get him. Yeah, that's the other thing because with Paris Saint-Germain they're going to have to sell a lot of players.
I don't know what
to make way for the wages. Mario Icardi,
good player, but I don't know. His agent's his wife.
Yeah,
and I think she's.
I don't think Messi too gets on with Icardi either.
Yeah, that'd be quite a good meeting. That Icardi's wife with Edu. I'd like to see that one.
So would you have Icardi?
Yeah, he's a good footballer.
Yeah, he's quality. Sky's the Limit says brilliant, Chris, level-headed. It's a culmination of horrific business. This is where we are. This is who we are. I don't want to know. It ain't who we are. Got to shrug it off, man.
I know it's sobering for you. I think how sobering it is for me. I mean, I'm a very lucky man. I've seen the 70-71 double. I saw the Jules Graham team. I saw the great Wenger years. I don't enjoy sitting here telling everyone we are where we are, but because I've seen it before, Rob, that's why.
So how do you come back?
You come back by employing a good manager who gets the best out of his players and who's backed by the board.
And
that's how you get back.
And what you see now is...
I'm not seeing that, Rob. But I'm bending over backwards to give Arteta a chance. But I want to see... I don't want to see Arsenal hitting 14 crosses to no one again. And I want to see him improve. I want to see players improve, Rob.
All right. Super chat here from Victory says, will Arsenal be ready for Brentford? I don't want to be negative, but I can see us as a 2... He says I can see a 2-2 draw. I think I might even take that. He says, we want to win these games, so we have Chelsea and Man City. Now, it's a very difficult start, Chris. I was down at their place on Monday. We were doing some filming at their new stadium. Was there with Marcus Gale and that. Marcus Gale, he's a stand-up guy. He was really good. Treated us really good down there. But I can tell you, in speaking to Marcus Gale, he goes, they're absolutely buzzing. He said, Ivan Toney, he goes, didn't even play at the weekend. He's got his feet up, chomping at the bit for this game.
Excellent football.
Yeah, it's going to be a packed house. It's their going to be like the first sellout in their new stadium. The only other game that the fans have been in there for was, they had 10,000 at the weekend in a friendly.
Yeah, Valencia.
Right? They are looking forward to the game. He said they've had a very good pre-season.
I have. I've watched them.
Very well organised team. You confident going into that game?
No, I'm not. I'm very, very nervous, Rob. We go there with the wrong attitude. I'm telling you now, we get done. We have got to be really up for that, big time. And I just don't even think about getting beat. Because you imagine the pressure.
I don't think we get beat.
No, but please, Arsenal, don't muck it up.
It's one of those games. I said it can go either way, right? It can go the way that you go there, and like you said, the atmosphere and everything like that.
Well, it shouldn't affect an Arsenal team.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying today, it shouldn't affect Arsenal. They've gone to many places like that before in the past. There's experienced players in there that shouldn't freeze. I've been following this club just like you for year and year. We've been to many cauldrons before, and we still come out with.
The thing is, though, what will be interesting will be the first time that we've played with fans, wasn't it? Like a packed stadium away from home for quite a long time. It shouldn't affect them. I think I'm more worried about some of the duels on the pitch, not what's going on. Tony up against our defence. They got a fantastic winger whose name's sort of I forget now. Really good. They're well coached and they got some really good footballers.
It's going to be a really tough game.
I think they think, oh, nice little Brentford. Well, they're not nice little Brentford at all. They're a very good team.
There's been a lot of doom and gloom. I suppose we win that game and then beat Chelsea.
The thing is, if Arsenal win, I feel he can't win Arteta, can he? Because people are supposed to beat Brentford. You know what I mean? But I don't care. I'll be over the moon if we win, Rob, because they take a bit of pressure off. You don't want to be going into Chelsea at home on the back of a bad result. Players still not signed. Negativity and you know what I mean? It'd be just awful, Rob.
Then followed up by Man City.
I've had you know what I mean? And then don't forget the League Cup second round. You know what I mean? Because
Actually, touching on that League Cup second round, so the draw's going to take place tonight. There's a couple of games tonight in the League Cup. I think Leyton Orient are playing. Is it Queen's Park Rangers or they're playing? Leyton Orient are playing.
Some good games tonight,
right? And or is it Queen's Park Rangers are playing? It's a game on tonight anyway, right? And straight after that, that's when they're going to make the draw for the second round of the Carabao Cup, which we're in now. The way they do it is they divide it up into sections: north section, south section. Of course, we're in the south section. Looking at some of the teams we could potentially get.
Well, there's one there. It's hitting me. If we get off to a bad start, it'll be a headline writer's dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Crystal Palace we could get.
Imagine that.
You know, up against Vieira.
Vieira turns up at the Emirates. We've had a bad start, and they do us in the League Cup.
There's Premier League teams we can get in it. We could get Watford as well. We could get
Brentford.
We could get Brentford again. We could get Southampton. You know, Brighton.
Well, that'd be a nice trip.
Norwich.
Yeah.
So, you know,
they've got to be up for it, Rob.
Yeah. There's other teams that get Stevenage. We could get Millwall.
Well, that'd be nice.
AFC Wimbledon, Gillingham. You know, so there's a lot of you know, put it this way, we're not used to that because we normally when you're a team that's finishing the top 6, you go straight into the third round.
It'd be interesting. I mean, he will have to put a full team out, you know, but it'll be interesting to see if he does though.
Being Sarangi says, I hope we've upgraded our scouts since the time we signed Runnison, who was supposed to be the backup keeper. Also, what's happening with Nelson and Nketiah?
No one knows.
Torreira is going to be like a new signing. Torreira could stay. They're finding a lot of difficulty in getting rid of Torreira.
Well, there's a player there, Rob, isn't there? Because we touched on that last week. That's like, you know, the first 6 months we thought he was the Messiah. Everyone was singing his name. I think he got a bad injury. He got sent off at Watford, never recovered. Emery played him up front as a false 9. Yeah, and his career went, and he's had a few little issues.
So he's one of them players really that you think about again, and that's the task for Mikel Arteta. That
he's got to improve.
Bring him back.
That's a great point, Rob. It's a test for him. But then, that's if he wants to come back, and if he wants to, you know. But then he's a professional footballer getting paid by Arsenal. You know, we're not a charity.
Yeah, true. Tom Will says we'll be all right on the night. All the players will be on their top form. Then we'll beat Chelsea, and in City, then we'll get smashed all season. Oh, come on. And Rittle Boy 190 says Arsenal would be better off with Johnston.
Great keeper,
better player and cheaper. It's all about the team's mentality to what team turns up against Brentford.
The only reason I can think they've gone for this keeper because is he really good with his feet? Because that's one of the
thing. When I've seen him play, he's all right with his feet. It wasn't exactly Edison when I saw him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think, you know what? If I remember rightly, the times when I've seen him as well, his kicking's all right though.
Yeah.
And again, that's Leno's one of his poor points. Leno is his kicking and it's poor. But I think when I've seen Ramsdale, you know his keepers now, they do them flat kicks. He's pretty good at that. So, but then is he good in?
Can you save the ball, Rob? I think that's a very strong point.
But also, when I've seen him, another thing that I weren't too is that in the aerial, which let's be real, right? You're going to get a lot of that in the Premier League. Aerially, I weren't that impressed. You know, like commanding your box and all that. I was like,
but the thing is, say, being devil's advocate, are we saying then that the whole England goalkeeping coaching setup, they rate him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe we're all wrong, Chris, because they rate him.
So you understand what I'm saying?
But then as somebody pointed out earlier, who else is in for him? Yeah,
they know more about goalkeeping than I do, or anyone on here.
Who else is in for him, though?
I don't know. Oh, do you know what you can tell I'm bending over backwards for the ball. So I will not come on here and have a go at him until I've seen him play for the Arsenal.
Yeah, actually, Robbie Ward reminded us his kicking is dreadful. He passed the ball to Lacazette when we played them. I think I remember that as well.
I do, yeah.
The Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's a good. I remember that. God.
Mukhtar says,
if you're listening, Aaron, don't take it personal, mate.
Teresa says Chris Hudson is the best. By the way, you've been getting bigged up here all night long, man. Everyone's glad to see you back in the building, man. So it's great to have Chris back. You know, this guy calls the other George says Ramsgoat. I think he's going to be the scapegoat. He probably would be. Same Jay says the elephant in the room is the Cronkies. If Abramovich owned Arsenal, we'd have £1 billion overhaul. but we're stuck selling players to fund buys. But as shrewd as we are, Arteta signings are good. As I said, you know what I mean? What, no?
I said that's the truth.
Listen, we could be sitting here in 6 months' time and we're all saying, you know what, big up Arteta, man.
Oh.
We didn't want Ramsdale and he went and got Ramsdale.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't foresee that Ben White was going to be this good. You know, we could be sitting there saying that.
Well, let's hope we, you know, like, praise God we are.
You got to say, one thing you got to say about Mikel Arteta, and you got to hand it to him. He's very brave in the decisions that he's making right now, because a lot of them are against the grain, aren't they? They're against the grain decisions.
Which tells you that he's
a confident guy.
He's a confident, and he's confident in what he's doing. But I still don't want to see 14 crosses to no one, Rob.
TB says, Robbie, you and Chris should be a permanent weekly show. Don't we get Chris? Because you told me you got time on your hands.
I don't mind. Yeah.
Then we've got to start getting you on every week, man. You know what I mean? Because his knowledge and the way he breaks it down. Although I don't know, I get a feeling, right, I might not see him again by the end of the month.
Yeah, I'll be jumping off a cliff. I'll tell you what, we all know. Let's cut to the chase. We all know on the 31st of the 8th, it's all going to go off, isn't it? You just know it.
But you know what? It could also be exciting, Chris, because I really do get a feeling that Arsenal are going to go nuts.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is, I don't want to get to the 31st of the 8th and through Arsenal's negligence that we're sitting there and the whole world's gone into a meltdown. We've had a terrible start. Arteta's
the strategy's a gamble.
Yeah,
the strategy at the moment is a gamble, because the strategy seems to be, on some sign, is a waiting game, right? But that means you're going into a start of a season, and I said this right at the start of the window, you've got 3 huge games. You haven't started off the season with, like, say, I don't know, Palace at home, Brighton,
but even if
Southampton, have you? You started off with 3 difficult, a team that's just come up that people are excited about, away
and the 2 best
in their brand new stadium. Their first game at their brand new stadium is always going to be tough. Then you're playing the champions of Europe, and then you're playing the champions of this country, right? And that is with your 3 games that you start off with, right? So you're taking a huge gamble by waiting and saying, right, you know, we'll get them players by the 31st. Because by the 31st, you could be sitting on 0 points.
I don't
or 1 point or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, because the only game really out of those 3 that you could look at and say Arsenal are expected to win, if you really look on it based off of the teams we're playing, is Brentford.
And even that's not easy.
And even that's not easy. So you could be sitting on a point or 0 points quite easily after those 3 games. And not even necessarily through no fault of your own, just because the teams, especially 2 of those teams in particular, have got so much more quality than you. What if by the time we get to play City, they've bought Harry Kane, Grealish, and all these guys, and we're coming up against them away.
And the thing is, you could recover from that, and then you get to May, and because you've had the points that you've dropped in the first week in August, cost you European football. So it's penny wise, pound foolish.
100%. Victor Lang says, hey Robbie, the owners of PSG are collecting free agents. Why can't Arsenal owners do the same?
Because we don't
Look
pay
at
the
PSG.
salaries.
Well, we free agent last year, William.
We don't pay the PSG.
PSG, a team of Mbappe, Messi and Neymar. Imagine Arsenal playing against them in the Champions League. It's a good job we're not in the Champions League right now. That could be another buy-in. Wayne Sage says Ramsdale, in a poor Sheffield United team, saved 3 out of 4 penalties. Made 147 saves out of 209 shots faced. Saved 70% of the shots faced.
Well played, Stato. Good stats there.
Yeah, lovely stats, man. Lovely stats.
But we know stats.
Yeah.
And there's stats.
Lovely stat. Remember that stat they used to say, what was it? Best pass ratio in Arsenal's team, I think, at one time. With a nearly 100%, it was Mertesacker.
Yeah.
But that's because he's passing the ball like 3 yards. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
I don't take much notice of them.
Why is nobody else coming for him?
We don't know that. You don't
Well,
know.
have you heard anything?
No.
I've been studying this transfer thing for the past couple of months. I ain't seen no one else in for Ramsdale.
I've heard Man City. No, I didn't.
More like
I'll
New
tell you
York
what,
City.
you owe me a drink when you come to this club, I'll tell you. I've had to defend him here.
Kartik says signing Martin Odegaard is just an Arsenal thing. Easy way out because Maddison deal would be tough. Signing Odegaard is just a lack of ambition. I do like Odegaard though, and there's rumours that could happen because there's differing rumours. There's rumours saying that listen, they're willing to sell. He's very unhappy at the moment. He's willing to leave. But then I also heard this morning that they were saying Danny Ceballos got injured, has come back injured from the Olympics.
Injury.
And now that's looking like more and more like they'll keep it.
The thing about Odegaard, as I said last week, you'd hit the ground running, Rob. You know what I mean? In the team play, you wouldn't need integration into the squad. You know, I still think if I could get Odegaard and Tammy Abraham, I'll be quite happy with the window.
Jeez. I want to ask you something. I want to go through
The breakdown.
right. I want to go through something here a second and just ask you. Right, let's go through this. Right, so I want to ask you. I'm going to pinpoint some players. I'll ask you if you feel we will move these players on by the end of the window.
Right.
Runnison.
Yeah, I think we will.
Loan maybe.
Yeah, loan.
Bellerin.
Doubtful.
I think we still have Bellerin again. Holding, who's been linked with a move away.
If Newcastle come in with a stupid offer, I think Arsenal sell him.
Cedric.
He connects with a few Turkish clubs. I think he could go. But that all depends on what happens in the right back situation. You know, because I could be wrong about Bellerin. Chambers, who they right back, I would keep Cedric because he's a good backup.
Kolasinac.
Please God, yeah. He's got to go, Rob. I think they're trying to buy up his contract.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, we talked about it last week, didn't we? All right, Torreira. Do you think we move him on?
I think we'll move him on if we can, but I must admit, if I worked at Arsenal, I'll get him in a room and I'll say, look, you know, I'll say, look, I understand you had a rough year with your mum dying and all that, but there's an opportunity, get your career back. But then if he's adamant he wants to go, you got to let him go. That would be more of a sentiment thing.
And you think he'll go?
I think he will. Yeah.
When I'm asking these questions, I'm saying, do you think we're going to find a club that will take this player?
On loan? Yeah.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
You know, I'm so frustrated with him, Rob. The right back spot's there. He's got the ability, but he don't want to know, and it's really annoying me.
Think he'll move?
Yeah. If Arsenal are realistic with the money they're asking for him, but I think come as the window goes, I think they might have to bite the bullet and let him go for, say, I don't know, 10, 12 million.
El Neni?
I think they'll keep him. Arteta loves him.
Willock?
I don't want him to go, but with the money on offer, yes.
So you think he'll go?
Yeah.
Xhaka, because you're saying he ain't signed a new deal yet.
Well, and if he doesn't sign a new contract, he'll have to go.
Willian?
Got to go.
But did Willie go?
If they can find a club for him, yeah.
Do you think they will?
50-50. Because of his money.
Nelson?
I think he'll go to Palace, and I think it'll be a fantastic move for him.
And Balogun, you already said loan.
Yeah.
And Eddie Nketiah?
I'm torn with him because with the present state of our strikers, I thought he's looked pretty good in pre-season, and unless I wouldn't be adverse to keeping him.
He's injured at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to keeping him. But then obviously Patrick Vieira rang me up from Crystal Palace and offered me stupid money, he'd be out the door quick.
Andy also says, as good as Ramsdale was in the latter half of the season, he was responsible for their relegation in the first half. How is that good buy? He said that's clueless.
No, you can't blame the whole team's relegation on one player, Robbie.
Kanari says, hey Robbie, love the show. Which fixtures are you confident of getting 3 points in if we're worried about Brentford? You've got to be worried about Brentford. You've got to show Brentford the respect. It's a tough game for the first one.
Well, we got Burnley and Norwich, haven't we?
In September. Surab says, can't Smith Rowe play as a creative midfielder like Pozzola or a box-to-box like Aaron Ramsey? And we go and buy Odegaard in the 10 position. He says, hashtag love AFTV. And Guaki is not a comment from him. We've come towards the end of the show right now. Let me see if I can get one on it. Gingerly says, thank you, Robbie, for not banning me by now, as I've been very critical recently. Listen, bro, you can be critical, you can big up the team, you can. It's your
all
opinion.
Opinions.
It's your opinion. It's your opinion. As long as it's respectful, you can get to air that here. And I'm just trying to find one more. There's been so many.
Perhaps people on Twitter should learn that about being a bit respectful.
Yeah, Sayambo says, hi Robbie, though I'm a Man United fan, I do follow AFTV on a regular basis. You guys are awesome. Big up. What do you think about the signing of Varane and Sancho? I don't know if I asked you last week about what's your top 6 then?
But this season, in order.
Yeah.
If they get Kane, Man City. If they don't, they come second and Chelsea come first.
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Right.
Man U third. And this is me shocker. I don't think Liverpool will come fourth.
You don't?
No, I think Leicester will come fourth, Liverpool fifth, and then 6 is between us, Tottenham, and the rest. West Ham, possibly.
And who makes it?
Well, I'm biased, I want to say Arsenal. But that's me heart speaking.
And there's Villa as well, you said, isn't it?
Yeah. You've asked me, that's me heart speaking.
So what's your head saying?
Villa. But if he comes
very enthusiastic note from Chris Hudson.
Can I just say, we have won the League Cup in my mind in February, so it don't matter. That's me get out of jail.
Oh my God. Sorry, Guaki, I've got your super chat now. He says Ramsdale is the number 4 goalkeeper. Pickford, Pope and Henderson are all ahead of him. Why don't we go for Pope?
Good call. Good call. He's had a bad injury.
He's been injured, isn't he? Yeah, he's been injured.
And he's a big Arsenal supporter, Pope, by the way.
Another one. They all support Arsenal, but they don't want to come.
Yeah, but you know when they supported us when they were growing up. So
when we were good.
And like that.
When we were aiming for 6th.
No, we were aiming for the stars, Rob.
Listen, Chris, I want to thank you very much for coming in. We definitely get Chris back next week. You know what? I'd love to get you back next week because we would have played a game by then. All the talking's going to stop. We'd have played a game, and we could be surprised.
Well, there's a
lot of doom and gloom because of the pre-season. Wasn't a great pre-season. We saw a lot of individual errors and things like that. A lot of things that need to be ironed out. We haven't been over enthusiastic about the signings and stuff like that. However, pre-season can account for 0, and those players would go there and they could smash Brentford, and we could be a completely different vibe. We could be raving about. I mean, I've just got a little funny feeling about that Sambi Lokonga. I think he's going to be a very good player this season.
I think you're right.
So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how it pans out. You never know, Chris. You could be coming back next week on Cloud 9.
Well, I hope so, mate.
No?
Let's wait and see.
All right, we'll wait and see. I want to thank you very much for watching AFTV. Once again, thank you very much to Chris. Thank you to the thousands and thousands of people that were watching live. Big up to Brennan, as usual, working hard behind the scenes. And also to your son, who's, fountain of knowledge over there as well. He is. He knows his stuff, man. He was talking earlier. We have to get him on one week. Right? And thank you to you guys. Don't forget, I'll be back in the morning with Transfer Daily. Could be announcing Aaron Ramsdale. Never know. See you tomorrow.